Hello, everybody. This is Scott Hutzbath with Agent Mastermind, and I have my dear friend with me, Robert Gawal, a real estate expert out of, is it Dunedin, Florida, or really close to there? Where exactly are you at, Robert?
10 minutes from Dunedin. It's a town called Palm Harbor, Florida.
Palm Harbor, Florida. So Robert's been in the real estate business, but and maybe you should tell us a little bit about yourself, just to reiterate who you are, where you've been, and some amazing success you've been having. And have you share with us what you've been doing for other real estate agents. So I'm gonna kind of sit back. I got my notepad with me, and I'm gonna take some notes, and of course I'll be here with you. But what do you got for us today?
What we're going to talk about today is 22 different lead generation strategies, and these are all ways designed for realtors to go out and find work. And without getting too far ahead of myself, because a lot of this is laid out in the PowerPoint presentation, but as a broker owner of my own real estate office here in Clearwater, Florida, I've seen agents come and go. I've seen agents make several $100,000 in one office, and then you have people in the exact same office, they have to go get another job. And as the broker, I get to hear everyone's situation, everyone's story. But usually if you're not succeeding, the first place to look is, do you know how to go out and get work? And so that's what I wanted to share today, because if you can go out and get work, you can figure everything else. And I'm a firm believer, you learn by doing, right? Isn't that how we learn everything? We learn by doing.
Right on.
And if we can just go out and get work and go through that process over and over and over again, repetition is the mother of skill. So just want to start off with a simple quote of the day from one of my favorite speakers, Tony Robbins, and it is, there it is, the path to success is to take massive, determined action. So if you have a pen and a piece of paper, jot that saying down and then ask yourself a question. Are you ready to take massive, determined action this week or last week? Think about your week last week. Did you take massive, determined action in your business? And if you didn't, then you're not following one of the major keys to success. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about 22 lead generation strategies. And, Scott, we got on this call about 10, 15 minutes earlier and or before time, and what we were talking about, it's not always inventing new ideas. It's
right.
Mastering the basics and mastering a lot of the ideas that we were taught and trained through the years, and really just saying, am I maximizing this strategy to the fullest?
Right on.
And a lot of these strategies, they don't cost a lot of money, but this is interesting, Scott. Check this out. I was reading this on Realtor.com. They have an economic report, and it said that, this was a Florida statistic, but, I just wanted to throw it out there, but real estate sales equaled 19.5% of the state's gross product. So right there, when you see that statistic, what does that tell you about the license we have and what we're able to sell?
There's a lot of opportunity is what I'm looking at. That's huge.
Yeah, 1 out of every 5 things that is sold in our state has something to do with real estate, and we hold a license to sell that. So, obviously one of the greatest licenses you can have. Now here's another statistic. $18,817 is generated for the economy with each real estate transaction. That means the painter got hired, the carpets got cleaned, right? The pest control guy got hired. So, the first statistic shows that, well, we're in a pretty darn good business. The second statistic says, well, it helps out a lot of people. Every time a sale happens or there's a closing, a lot of people make money off of this. But then the average realtor makes only $40,000. So the statistics go like this. The first one says we sell a pretty darn good product. The second one to me says it helps the economy. And the third one says that we just can't sell it effectively. And my answer is why. And
right.
So when I first started in real estate, I believed in hiring a coach. I always have. And I hired this coach out of Arizona, and here's what she told me, Scott. She said to me, Robert, do you want to succeed? I said, of course I do. She says, all right, I'm going to make this real simple for you. You got 3 jobs. You ready? Write this down. Your 3 jobs. You got to go out and get some work. I said, okay. Then you got to do the work. and then you got to manage the work. And sort of looking at what she said, get work, do work, manage work. And there's one word that's in all three of them. And I want to point that out, and I think you'll agree with me, Scott. The key word in here is work. Because if you're not working your business, this whole thing doesn't work. Everything we're talking about today, everything you guys have talked about in the past, if you don't show up and give it your best, if you're not working, this whole thing just doesn't work. So that's what my coach said. Get work, do work, manage work. So I put that in my brain. I forgot about it. Years went by. Now I'm on to another coach, because I've had probably 5 different coaches in my 16 years in real estate. And this coach hands me a book, and the book is by a gentleman by the name of Michael Gerber. And it was a New York Times bestseller. And Michael Gerber studied small businesses and why they don't work and what to do about it. Here's what Michael Gerber says. He said every business has to have 3 successful components. Number 1 is they have to have the entrepreneur. They have to have the technician. And they have to have the manager. And why I bring that up is because if you are a real estate agent, think about it. You are the CEO of your own business, aren't you?
Well, you should be. Yeah, I always stress to make sure that you are the dot me is what I refer to it as, is make sure that you are, whatever you do, you are the owner of your business and you work on your business instead of in your business, for sure.
Well, think about it. The day you get your real estate license, you have to hang it with a broker because that's what the law says you have to do. But really, your broker is just going to be there to help you and answer some questions. You have to understand you've got to grab the reins and not count on your broker. This is up to you. So you have to be able to wear 3 hats, the entrepreneur, the technician, and the manager. So here's this discovery I had. So I started thinking about what Michael Gerber says, hey, I'm a New York Times bestselling author. And then I started thinking about what my coach told me. And here was the discovery I made. Michael Gerber says every business has to have an entrepreneur. My coach said that you got to have somebody that knows how to get work. Isn't that the same person? So what my coach told me years ago, and what this guy wrote in the book years later, they're both the same thing. They're just said differently. The entrepreneur is the one that knows how to go out and get the work. Michael Gerber said every successful business has to have a technician. My coach said you have to know how to do the work. Isn't that the technician? Isn't that the one that goes out and does the work?
Absolutely.
And then you have to have the manager, and look what my coach said. They're the same thing.
Right.
So whether you're listening to a New York Times bestselling author saying the entrepreneur, the technician, and the manager, or you're listening to my coach from years back, they're saying the same thing. And what I wanted to point out there is look at that, the technician, for instance, right? How many realtors were making it back when, it was easy pickings out there in 2005, 2006?
Everyone, right? Pretty much.
Right, because people knew how to do the work. I can open a door. I can say, this is the kitchen. This is the bathroom. I can sign paperwork and sign up listings all day. So most people know how to do the work, but they don't know how to get the work. And when the market dried up, this is where a lot of people started leaving the business, is they don't have that entrepreneurial hat on, that person that knows how to go out there and get the work. So that's why I put it, all starts with getting the work. Never wait for the phone to ring. Go on the offense. And the best way to go on the offense is lead generation and prospecting. So with that said, I've been training and personally coaching real estate agents since 2002. I can't believe it's been 14 years I've been doing this, training and coaching. And today is what we're about to do is I'm going to share 22 lead generation strategies. They work and they get results. Now, a lot of these are not going to be new, but I want you to ask yourself, have you perfected them? Because if you haven't perfected them, you could be leaving thousands of dollars laying all around you, and all you have to do is bend down and pick it up. And I'm going to give you examples of this and some case studies as we get into this. Okay, so number 1, we got 22 strategies. Okay, the first one is very simple. It's door knocking. It's one of the quickest ways to meet people. Now, the reason why people don't door knock, I believe, is because they don't know what to say. Okay, so in a second, I'm going to give you what I would say when you would door knock, but here's some potential people you could door knock to. For sale by owners, expireds, Liz Pendens, people maybe in a potential short sale situation, or maybe just in your farm area. Go out and introduce yourself. Now, this is an interesting thought. great strategy. Try to knock on one door 5 days a week. Think about this. If you could pick out one expired listing or one for sale by owner in your area, and either on the way into the office or on the way home, stop every day and just knock on one door. And you work 5 days a week. That would be 250, if you did 50 weeks out of the year, that's 250 doors you knocked on, just doing one a day. And that's, I mean, that is so simple.
Great opportunity right there. Great opportunity right there, yeah.
Well, that's called compounding, where you do a little bit every day and it just compounds. The whole goal of knocking on the door is not to get listings. If you're going knocking on doors to getting listings, you're taking the wrong approach. The only reason you should be knocking on the door is to make a new best friend. People are going to give their business, Scott, I learned this from you, that they know, like, and trust, right? So when you knock on the door, they're going to get to know you. Then from there, you want to make a new best friend so that they can like you. And when the trust is there, then you can possibly get the listing. I always have leave behind pieces in my car, home selling brochures that show them that I don't just wing it, I have an actual home selling system. And then I always, at my big close, is I always ask for permission to follow up. Okay, so number one was door knocking. Number two is the for sale by owner. For sale by owners are the low-hanging fruit of our industry. I prefer that you buy these lists. And you can always get somebody driving around, but you can definitely save time by buying the list, and you can make the calls and door knock. We got great scripts that we provide for this, Scott. They're the best scripts in the world. Now, what I like about the scripts that we use, they don't involve any selling whatsoever. We're just actually calling them, seeing if we can come by and just see their home or preview it, because we want them to know us. Just like you said, Scott, it's know, like, and trust. It starts with know. They got to know you. How can they trust somebody they don't know?
You know, the one thing about the FSBO that I like the most is and it's not about the FSBO, and you said it the best. It's not about getting a listing. It's about building a relationship with someone that knows, likes, and trusts you. And a FSBO is the easiest by far to build a relationship with, as long as you're giving something of value when you enter that relationship or start that relationship. And it's so easy with a FSBO because they have a pain. They have a pain of they need or want to sell their home, maybe both, and they don't know how to do it. They have no idea what's involved in selling their home. So if you can provide something of value to start that relationship and not expect anything in return, but occasionally ask for it, who do you think is going to get the listing if they decide to list with a real estate agent? I mean, I love that strategy, and it's so easy to own that in your marketplace if you decide to do that.
You know, I loved what you just said there. You said don't expect it, and I think that's where real estate agents go wrong with this approach, is they want it so bad, they're expecting it. And I'll give you an example. I called on one 3 weeks ago, $520,000 waterfront home in Newport Richey, right? 520. So I call on this, and guy answered. He was actually kind of rude. He was very short, told me I can do this myself. I don't need you. And I just said, hey, I'd just like to follow up with you. That's fine. Called him 2 weeks ago, and again, he was a little short, but talked to me a little longer, and then followed up with him last week, Monday, for the third time. I call him once a week. And he finally said, look, Rob, it's not my house. It's my mom's house, and you've been calling me for 3 weeks. Just here's the deal. Deal with my mom, all right? I was helping her. Deal with her. So, okay, so I call his mom. She invites me over. I pull in the driveway. Long story short, I'm thinking to myself, I've been here. I've been to this house. It turns out it was my old boss's house that used to work for Remax, and I was at a Christmas party there. So what a way when I knock on the door. I already know what I'm going to say. It's like, oh, my gosh, I was at this house at a Christmas party 15 years ago. She's like, no way. I said, did you buy it from Mr. So-and-so? She's like, yes, we did. And then I noticed her accent. I said, what nationality are you? She said, Polish. I happen to be Polish, too. She wants me to come up this week. Her husband gets home. She's given me that list. You're only going to pay 5%, but it's $520,000. And then she's got another lot on the water she wants me to look at for $200,000. But here was somebody, I'm telling you, they were very rude in the beginning, and all I kept saying is, I just want to see your home. Well, we're not going to list it. I didn't ask for that. I just want to meet you. But when they knew me, they liked me, they trust me, and they've invited me back this week. So, and it's all the scripts that we provide. and setting up these face-to-face meetings. So here's my goal. If you got a pen, write these 3 things down. When I'm going to meet with a for sale by owner, I'm not in my first approach. I'm not going for the listing. I got 3 things I'm going to try to accomplish. I want to make a new best friend. I want to find out their timing and motivation. And it's just asking a good series of questions. Hey, why are you doing this? This is a great house. What are you trying to accomplish? Okay, I understand, and so on. And then my big close is I ask for permission to follow up. So number 2 is for sale by owners. Number 3 is expired listings. Again, I recommend buying the list, making those calls and door knocking.
I don't know if you're. I don't know if you're going to cover it, but a couple people are asking where to buy the FSBOs and expireds. Do you have a recommended place to do that?
Where to? Oh yeah, we're going to get there.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Cool.
I'm going to show you where to get that. Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Now here's the thing on expireds that makes it a little different than the for sale by owner. The for sale by owners, they're going to list within anywhere from 1 to 2 months. The expired, you cannot take that approach. You got to get to them sooner. And I know you guys had that great flower pot strategy. You got to be consistent with these expireds. Get there and knock on the door. These are the doors you should be knocking on because they're going to list, if they are relisting, within 3 to 7 days. Not like a for sale by owner where you have more time. So these you have to, and that's that last bullet point. You got to be timely. If this is a strategy you're going to choose, be timely and be consistent, and it will work. Okay, next, number 4, Liz Pendens. It depends what state you're in, but there's certain states where there's still a lot of people underwater. I think the most recent statistic I've seen 2 years ago, it was 11.1 million, and this year, it was 9.1. So there's still over 9 million homeowners underwater. And I recommend buying these lists, and I'm going to show you where you can get this. You can also get this from your local MLS. You can see who has a Liz Pendens against them. And door knock, and again, the first 4 are kind of similar on what to do. But the thing is, if you're going to go after Liz Pendens, people that are in a potential short sale situation, you have to be understanding. Hopefully you can see that down there, and offer to help. If somebody hasn't made their mortgage payment in a year, and they're not a realtor and they don't really understand the whole short sale process, maybe get an attorney on your side and get some knowledge and get some printouts on what could happen if it goes into foreclosure. Ask your attorney friend to give you some case studies and go over there and knock on the door and offer to help. Know, like, and trust, right? Know your facts and so on. So that's number 4. Scott asked earlier, he said, hey, people are asking the questions of where they can buy these leads. So I'm going to give you a couple different suggestions. Vulcan 7. I have never used Vulcan 7, but I was on a Google Hangout with 2 of the top agents in the world that make over $2.5 million a piece selling real estate. And I just heard about Vulcan 7, so I wanted to throw it up there. I'm a big fan of the Red X. I'm not a huge fan of Landboys Pro anymore. I've had a little issue. A lot of their leads have been old lately, and I've gone through spurts with them where I don't know if it's their admin staff or who's ever researching these, but if you tried the Red X, you will not be disappointed. Already this morning, we took 5 appointments this morning, a 525, a 340, a 235, a 375, and a 257. So I don't know, maybe just looking at that for a 115 this morning in an hour. So agents ask, why do we need to buy leads? I can find expireds in the MLS, and I can look up for sale by owners in the paper. So why do I need to get my credit card and let them debit? I think Red X right now, you can get it for $79. I paid $89, but I think it's $79. Bottom line is, researching your own leads and driving around looking for FSBOs, you're just wasting time. And you know this, Scott. We need to spend our time as agents doing highly productive activities, right?
Amen. 80-20, baby. Focusing on the 20% that makes you 80% of your money.
And I brought this slide in because I haven't talked about this slide in a while. I know, Scott, you like this one. This was an interview I saw with Darren Hardy, the CEO of Success Magazine. And Darren used to be a realtor back in the day, and he did the old stopwatch test, right? And he said real estate agents should only be doing 3 things with their time. 1 is negotiating contracts. going on listing appointments, or prospecting. Okay? And so think about that. If you're a real estate agent and you're on this webinar today, ask yourself, do I have a contract to negotiate today? No, I don't have any of those. Nope, I wish I did, but I don't. Okay, go down next. Do you have a listing appointment? You might say, well, I've got one, and that's at 5 o'clock tonight. Well, then what you should be doing when you're off this webinar is prospecting, and everything else you need to learn to delegate to somebody else. And we all talked about this before. Darren went as far as to buy a stopwatch and put it around his neck. And when he was doing one of these three activities, whether it was negotiating a contract, going on a listing appointment, or prospecting, he would turn the stopwatch on. And when he wasn't doing one of these three activities, the stopwatch remained off. And if you do this, I'm going to get this next week. I am going to try this out next week. When he would get home at night, he would look at the stopwatch and see how many minutes or hours he actually did income-producing activities. He said the first time he did it, he worked a 10-hour day, and he looked down at the stopwatch, and it said 20 minutes. Wow. Can you imagine being gone from your wife, family, and your kids for 10 hours, and when you got home, you were only doing what you were supposed to do for 20 minutes? That's an eye-opener.
Freedom. Yeah, it tells you how little you need to actually do to have a very successful business, and how other people can help you do this stuff that is not the money-making activities, is what it showed me. He could have worked 20 minutes that day, literally, and did something else that was fun. Maybe golf with his beach, fish, or lay on the beach, or whatever, with referral partners, or CPAs, financial planners. I mean, whatever he wanted to do, and still accomplish the same thing as he did in the 20 minutes. You know.
That is so well said. So here's my RedX. This is I pulled this back last year. It was from August to September. This was 1 month. I got 110 for sale by owner leads, and then my expireds. I'll go back a month on for sale by owners because, you know, at week 4 the banana's yellow. It's ripe now, right? So I'll go back a month on my FSBO leads, but not a month on my expireds. I'll only go back 4 days, and there were 33 expireds. So let's break down the numbers on this stuff. This is very conservative. I just showed you 133 leads, but let's say I always like to think conservatively. RedX is going to get you about 100 leads a month. That's 1,200 a year. The membership, I pay this. I heard it's $79 now, but maybe I need to talk to him. But when I purchased it, it was $89 a month. So here's what you're doing. You're trading 1,000. If you join for 12 months, you're trading a little over $1,000 of your hard-earned money for 1,200 shots. And if you just make one of those, if one of those shots falls through the hoop and goes in, and it's a $200,000 house, you're going to make $6,000. 50% of for sale by owners will list within 4 to 6 weeks. So in 4 to 6 weeks, that's just my opinion, the leads are ripe. You know, sometimes when you catch them the first day or the first week, it's like that green banana. It's not ready yet. So all you want to do is you want to get to meet them, you want to see their home, and you just want to start the follow-up process and nurture that relationship. And within 30 to 60 days of working a true FSBO system, there's no reason you shouldn't be slammed. And Scott, I got to tell you, I started doing this. I figured if I'm teaching it, I should do it, right?
Right on.
So I figured it's kind of like teaching people how to diet. And I said, well, if I'm going to teach people how to diet, I'm going to diet with them. I'm not going to tell anybody to do something I'm not going to do myself, right? In the last 40 days, I've listed 10 properties with this method. 10. It's ridiculous.
So 40 days, you said? 40 days?
40 days, 10 listings. Here was my board. This is the call. So last week, in 90 minutes, I got 10 opportunities. I came in on Monday morning, and I started calling Monday morning. I did it from 9 to 10. Then I block off 9 to 10 every morning to call. Just 1 hour a morning, 9 to 10 every morning. So Monday I came in and I did my full hour, and this is what I got on Monday. Look at the prices, look at the times. These are all appointments. 8 appointments, Monday, 1 hour, 1.9. Came back on Tuesday and could only call for 30 minutes because 10, I couldn't do more than 10 in a week. I coach baseball, I'm married, I got kids. 10 was enough. I couldn't take any more. So that was only 90 minutes I called, and it was 10 appointments at almost 2.5 million. And here's my board, right? So here was the breakdown of my 25 calls. 10 no answers. So these are how good these scripts are. So 10 people didn't answer, and 2 were listed. So 12 are out of the equation, right? Because 10 didn't answer and 2 were listed. So there were only 13 people that actually answered the phone that I had a chance at. 13. And 10 invited me over. 10. So the scripts are dynamite, man. How can you lose? You're going to get in the door. And then you just got to, you know, be sincere. And they have to know you, like you, and trust you. So right then and there, it's going to show you that 10 people are going to get to know me. And it was actually 8 because 2 people canceled. And that's really the name of the game. But 8 people got a chance to know me that wouldn't have known me otherwise. And it only took 90 minutes getting on the phone.
Well,
So
even if only 1 or 2 let you in, it's 1 or 2 more relationships you have a chance to build, and those people have friends, family, and coworkers as well, which is insane. If you only did that, if you only met with 1 new person per week, that's 52 a year. I can't even imagine what that would look like if you had a proper follow-up in place to connect, engage, and go deep with your people that you're meeting with. You know what I'm saying?
I was just going to say that it's all about the follow-up. That's the fortune is in the follow-up, and that's really the system. It's don't try to knock it out of the park on the first swing. You know, get on first base. That's the baseball coach in me. It's the Moneyball. If you've seen the movie Moneyball, you should almost watch it as a homework assignment because there's a lot of. Did you see the movie, Scott? The movie Moneyball?
I don't remember that I did. No. What if you told me something about it? But I don't.
It was up for an Academy Award for Best Picture, I believe, last year. It was Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill about Billy Beane, who was the manager of the Oakland A's.
Oh, the baseball?
Team.
Yeah. Absolutely seen that. Absolutely. Yeah, it was a great movie. Great movie.
And what I liked about it is they came up with a simple approach that it's all about getting to first base that wins championships or that causes wins.
Good point.
So, you know, in life we all want wins, we want closings. So what we have to realize, we don't have to go up and swing for the fence and hit a home run. All we need to do is get on first base and then work the follow-up to work us around the bases because getting to first base is very easy. For sell-by owners who expires, people will let you in their house if they know that you're not coming to list them, right? So don't try. Just go and shake their hand, have them show you around the house, find out their timing and motivation, and so on. But let's move on. Number 5, networking. And I'm going to be bringing a friend on. If not, next week we already have somebody, but the following week. This is only his 2nd year in real estate, and he's involved with the B&I group. And he's going to make about $250,000 selling in his 2nd full-time year, and it's all generating referrals, right? And I'm just putting a few other groups up there. You can join your, you know, B&I. There's one RGA. I'm sure there's different networking groups. There's senior designations, Kiwanis clubs, local chambers, church organizations. You've got to get out there. That was number 5, is get out there and network. What does that cost you? Odds are it doesn't cost you much, does it, Scott?
No. And networking should be your number 1 thing that you do 24/7. That's just where the business is. So yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to interview that guy and hear what he's doing or how he's doing it or what he's saying. He said he's a cool guy, so I can't wait to get him on the call.
Yeah, absolutely killing it. Now I'm going to put a spin on open houses. Okay, people do open houses for all the wrong reasons, right? They do an open house because when they're taking a listing, they feel like they, you know, let's say it's a $150,000 home or a $200,000 home, and it's tucked away, and you know, it's going to be hard to get to, but to get the listing, you kind of tell the seller, we'll do open houses, we'll do, you know, whatever you need, we're here for you. I don't ever say that. I don't really feel that open houses work to sell homes, but if you're looking to pick up buyers, there are some open houses, and if you don't have those listings, somebody in your office does. Here's the question. Would you sit for 3 hours on a Sunday at a $300,000 open house, and if it sells, you're going to make $9 grand? Yeah, I don't want to.
I think the important part that I want to reiterate that you just said, I think you kind of skipped over. If you don't have any listings, borrow one to do an open house with this strategy. Is what I heard. That's huge. So then you can not only pick what I mean, you get to pick what where you want the price to be. If you pick a $100,000 open house, that's what you're going to get. If you pick a $300,000 open house, those are the clients you're going to get and the relationships you're going to build.
Right, and that's, I want this for you guys. You know, I'm married, I've got 2 kids, most of the open houses are on Sunday, and that's why I bring this up. Like, if you're giving up that time, odds are you're giving up your family time, and maybe one of your only days off. So to sit in a $100,000 open house on a Sunday, I just don't believe in it. But I would sit in a house on a Sunday where I had a chance to make $10,000 if I sold the house, or any client I pick up is going to be in that range. But so here's the 5 bullet points. Number 1, find sought-after areas, a price range that pays. You can promote a lot of these open houses right through your MLS, or go around the neighborhood and hand out flyers that you're going to be holding it open. And again, another chance to meet people, right? Now, here's the key strategy. Invite a local mortgage broker, because here's what happens. When people come in on an open house, they want to get in and they want to get out. They want to see the house. It might be after church or something. They went to lunch. Now they're driving around. They see an open house sign. They buzz in. They want to buzz out real quick, and they don't want to be bothered with some salesperson. So with me, I always try to build rapport. So what I'll do is I'll bring a local mortgage broker with me, and he'll have his mortgage software and his laptop booted up. And either he'll pick up some a ring of sandwiches, and I'll pick up some snacks and some soft drinks. But here's what we do. When somebody walks in, we call them sandwiches and surveys. So when somebody walks into my open house, I thank them for coming. I hand them a survey, and I'll say, you know, listen, I really appreciate you coming, but my seller's looking for some feedback. So if you could be so kind to, while you're walking through the home, to fill out the survey for my seller. And you know what, when you're done, I'd love to maybe just to have lunch with you here real quick. And so what I do is I slow them down. They're not coming in and going out. You know, it's the whole sandwich and survey thing. And so what happens is they grab the survey, they walk around the home, they give it to me, they share what they saw. Now I've got good feedback from my seller, and then I'll give them a sandwich, a soft drink, maybe some chips or some pretzels or something, and then while they're eating for 5 to 10 minutes, I get a chance to talk to them and slow the whole thing down. And then if they want to get pre-approved, I've got my mortgage broker buddy, he's right there, right? So if you have no for sale by owners, and nobody in your office has any good, or excuse me, open houses, and nobody in your office has any good open houses, offer this to for sale by owners or expired. Say, listen, I'll hold your open house for you. Would you pay me a fee if I sold it at the open house? It's another way for them to know you, like you, and trust you. And if all else fails and you hate every single one of these strategies, do this. Just go pass out 10 business cards a day. Count 10 business cards out every morning, put a rubber band around them, and say, you know what, I've got to go out and have 10 meaningful real estate conversations today. I'm going to exchange cards. I'm going to find out what they do for a living, find out if they have a real estate need or if they know anybody who does, ask for their permission to follow up. Next is postcards. Now, you know, Scott, I was doing that BP claims business for a lot of realtors, right?
Yep.
One guy was making $900,000 a year. You know what he did? Postcards.
Okay.
900 grand.
All right.
Postcards.
Wow. Wow.
And here's what he told me. He said he always kept them clean. His message was powerful. When he used humor, it worked. The key was he mailed out consistently. You know, you can't just mail out postcards one time. They need to see it at least 3 times. So you got to mail them out consistently, and then we all, you know, with the videos we do, we can link them to QR codes, and the postcard can actually come to life and talk to them. So, but if you can find a good postcard campaign and stick with it, they do pay, but you have to stick with it. If you only have enough money to do 1 mail out, I would save your money. But if you had enough money to do at least 6 months of mail outs in a certain neighborhood, I would be all over that. Next is email marketing. Email marketing to your database. People always say to me, well, what do you send? And Scott just said it. When you're doing marketing, especially through email, you want to send something of value. If I'm sending something out to my database, it might be something educational, maybe something to make them laugh or motivate them, or maybe a cool coupon to a new restaurant that's opening in town. You know, hey guys, this new restaurant's opening over here. It's going to be a really awesome place. I talked to the manager or the owner. I got 20% off, or, you know, a free entree. And hey, by the way, if you know anybody looking to buy or sell a home, give me a call. And another cool thing some of my agents are doing is They're doing trivia contests where you can win Starbucks gift cards or gas cards, and they're putting them in their newsletters, which through constant contact, they're throwing out a question. You know, if you can name this or name that, and they're getting their audience to engage back with them in the form of a contest. I think Carl's done that. Where's Carl? Hasn't he done that in the past? Guess where Carl's at?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. He does a video with it by the water tower, and then gives away, you know, for the first 3 that guess where he's at, you get 2 free movie passes to the local movie theater. But hey, one thing on this email marketing, I think we tend to overthink this. People don't sit around and think about us as much as we think they do. If you just send an email, short, sweet, hey, just was thinking about the other day. Hope you and your family are doing well. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Just hope all is well. Have a great day. Just real short and sweet. I think you'd be surprised just by doing that, staying in front of your clients on a weekly basis. It doesn't have to be a letter, a 400-word letter, or anything, any topic specific. Email it as if you were emailing to a friend that knows, likes, and trusts you, and then just to stay top of mind, because what that's going to do is remind them of who you are when you meet with your friends, family, and coworkers over the weekends at games, on the lakes, and all that stuff. So don't overthink the email marketing piece. That's a really big piece I think we tend to do too much on.
And you know, to take that one step further, I'm coaching a girl who she was working at Starbucks, single mom, and she said, you know, I heard you were a good coach, and you know, I need this. She said, I don't get much support from my husband. I've got a 9-year-old boy. I have a passion for real estate. I just need to find my way. And we got her on the FSBO strategy, and that's doing really well. She has 4 closings this month. She's making, I don't know, like $18,000. But the cool part of all this was she started emailing to her database. She got it's a very affordable database. I'm not associated with it, but it's called Realty Juggler, realtyjuggler.com.
Yep.
It's $99 a year.
For the whole year.
And you can, for the whole year. And it's all real estate related. It's got action plans. But what I like, you can also do email drip campaigns. So I got her on this last year because, again, being a single mom, I know she doesn't have a ton of extra money. So I look for affordable ways to market yourself. $99 a year is nothing. So she has right now a little over 100 people in her database. These are people she went out with, met with. I mean, some people, they'll sell their home and you might meet them. They're for sale by owner, and they sell their home without you. But here's the cool part. If you keep staying in front of them, she does an email blast every 10 days. And this guy called her up, and he said, hey, I don't know if you remember me. You were at my house around Thanksgiving. Oh, yeah, I remember you. Yeah, just want to let you know we eventually sold and closed our home. Oh, okay. Well, what can I help you with? Well, you were really nice, but we didn't need an agent. We did it ourselves. But I'll tell you what, we need to find a place now. So we're looking for something about $400,000 to $500,000. We've already found it. Could you open the door for us? We calculated the other day she's made $33,000 from that one email a week she sends already this year. $33,000 this year from sending one email every 10 days.
Crazy.
And they're like you said, Scott, don't overthink it, man. I mean, she sends Martin Luther King Day, for instance. She said, I don't know if you know the history of Martin Luther King Day. I just thought I would share this with you. Click the link below. I mean, it was like 2 sentences. And by the way, if you have a need to sell real estate, you know what I mean? It was,
right on.
But get in front of them. So, and number 10 is the B2B marketing, where you can hook up with local businesses in your area. And let's face it, we all know business people. And I'm not talking about the big business people. I'm talking about, you know, our hairdresser, for the female agents, you know, your nail tech, the dry cleaners, places where you do business. Collect with local business owners, offer to help promote their business. Get discounts on their services and promote their business. Ask them, how can I help you? It's about helping people, right? How can I help you promote your business? And then eventually you can start asking these people for referrals. And we talked about this before. If I just could find 10 people that own a business, and I could get discounts for them and send them out to my database is going to love me because they're getting free discounts to local stuff. And then I can ask these 10 business owners for one, even if it's just one referral a year that you make $3 or $4 grand off of. This one strategy makes you $30,000 to $40,000 and your customers love you, and the businesses love you. So now we're going to go through, we're going to speed it up a little bit. We're just going to go in bullet point format. Scott, you and I talked about this. Number 11 on lead generation strategies is to get into video and video marketing.
Yeah.
And we both agree, Scott, that video marketing changed our careers. Would you agree on that?
No question. I personally wouldn't be here right now if I didn't do video marketing. It's what literally put me on the planet Earth, and it's everybody that I follow, Gary Vay. I mean, there's so many people that have put themselves on planet Earth with video marketing. I can't stress it enough. It's the number one thing that I would do again if I had to start over.
And, you know, I think we both are totally agree on that, because I would not be here on this call today either if it wasn't for video. And think about the people, and that was really cool that you just said that. I didn't even think about that, but think about the people who we follow.
I know.
We're not following people that sent us a bunch of text and an email. We're following people maybe we've seen on television or we've seen a cool video, right? So we start to follow these people, and video is very, very powerful. And today you can shoot these things right from your phone. I mean, I've got the fancy green screen studio, but it's not necessary. I mean, if you can do it, great, but if you can't, there's no excuse today on why not to do video. It's just very, very powerful. But everybody should stick your toe in the water this year when it comes to video marketing. Next, how about webinars? If you can do a PowerPoint, and even if you can't do a PowerPoint, could you design 25 slides and then go to somebody who's a specialist in PowerPoint and say, put this together for me? Kids can do this in school, right? How about this? What if you could make door hangers and go around to for sale by owners and say, learn how to sell your home without an agent. Go on my free webinar. It could even be pre-recorded. You could have a pre-recorded webinar every Thursday for sale by owners. You want to talk about a way to have them know, like you, and trust you. You're the one trying to help them sell their home without an agent. And if it gets to be too much, who are they going to call? Because at the end of the webinar, you can say, hopefully this was helpful, and if you have any questions or suggestions, please look me up. Here's my info. If you did it live, you can answer questions. But how cool is that to go to for sale by owners, expires, and say, I will teach you how to sell your home without an agent. You're going to make lots of friends that way, and, you know, who cares if somebody sells it without you? If you've made a friend for life and they know you, like you, and trust you, you can have that first one without me, because I'll take the next 20 for the rest of your life, because I'm getting my foot in the door. And I'm going to keep it in the door because you're going in my database, and you're going to hear from me. I hit my database probably 2-3 times a week, but you're going to hear from me 2-3 times a week for the rest of your life until you opt out. Next, brochure boxes in public places. This was another one that got us a nice $300,000 listing last month. This was a simple brochure, and companies charge for this. Like, what are those? Remember those real estate magazines like Homes and Land? They'll charge like $600 to put a page together. Put your own page together. Put all your listings on a page. Put a cool call to action on it. Put your contact information. Run these things off. Go get some plastic cases and go around to these local businesses like hair salons, your doctor's office, your dentist's office, places where people sit in the waiting rooms for a long time, and ask them, can I put my box with my cards in your, in your waiting room? And it works. We just got, like I said, a $300,000 listing last month from a simple little flyer that we put in a waiting room at a dentist office. Next, if you have a website, I want you to look at it today, and your website should give away some type of free reports. And that's what I wanted to bring up about websites. We all know websites are lead generators, but usually they generate a lot more if you're giving away something for free, whether that's tips on selling your home, how to sell your house fast for top dollar. But you need to come up with some type of free report and attach that to your website. It should be right on the front page, very eye-catching. As soon as they hit your website, it's like, I can get my free report, how to do this, how to do this, how to do this. They sign up, and again, now you have their information for life. You can match up your website with Google. For years I did this, and this is one of the only strategies, number 15, that I'm bringing up. That can get a little expensive. But if you have the extra money, this was a guaranteed. I mean, I was spending at a time $1,500 a month, and I was getting a ridiculous like 300 leads a month. And I stopped it because it was too much. It was like drinking out of a fire hose. I mean, Google works. Next, Scott, you always talk about using Facebook. You're a lot better than this and me, but social media, right? If you want to market yourself, use Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn.
Yeah, just really quick, Robert, we have an amazing, we have a lady on the class next week, Stacy Staub, who generates 30% of her business, it might even be more than that now, using Facebook. So, guys, don't miss next week's class, just so you know.
I'm looking forward to that because, again, you can match up number 16 with what she teaches next week. And then we also have number 17, which is print media, newspapers, magazines, newsletters. Okay, we all know about that. Again, it can get a little expensive. Now, this one I love, number 18. I want everyone to write this down and check this out when we're off the webinar. New and improved virtual tours. This is really cool, Scott. Now, we've all seen the boring virtual tours that everyone thinks is effective. It's garbage, where it scans the home. Oh, there's the granite countertops. Oh, hey, there's the couch. Oh, now it's scanning back. There's the refrigerator. Oh, this is so boring. It doesn't. Home features don't sell homes. Emotional. You know, when people get emotional, that causes the trigger, that causes decision making, right? So there's a company out of Nashville. They're called Film House. And they started doing these really cool virtual tours. So let's say we just did one. We made it ourselves, but we got this waterfront listing for $650,000. And we said we're going to try the Film House idea. We're not going to bring the old camera in, set it up, and shoot the kitchen. And I mean, that's boring. What we're going to try to sell is lifestyle. So we wrote a script, and there's nobody talking in it. It's music, but what it does is it shows the car pull up, and the people getting out with the bottles of wine, and it shows the people preparing food in the kitchen. And then when they open the door, there's the hugs and kisses, and then it shows this dinner party going on. Then it shows some people hopping on the boat with a bottle of champagne, popping it over the water, and then the proposal at the end, right? So, but it was all done to music, and what we're showing is, hey, this is the lifestyle you can live if you own this house. And the cool part is the sellers, Scott, they got to star in their own movie. How many sellers get to star in their own movie?
That's awesome, man. That's a great idea.
Now think about this. This is really powerful. So what happens if Scott's my seller, and this is Scott's house, and $650,000, and I just produced this killer video that Scott's starring in, and you're not a realtor. Again, Scott, how many videos have you appeared in just being a seller?
Being a seller, 0.
0. Now you got this YouTube video that's your 5 minutes to fame. You're like a celebrity, and I send it to you, and you love it. What do you do when you love this video that you're starring in?
I'm going to share the crap out of it. I'm going to tell everybody about it.
Damn right you are.
On my Facebook wall. It's going everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And at the end, if their friends say, what do their friends say? Who did that? It's really cool. No one's doing that. Wow, I only see boring virtual. What realtor did that? Right. Oh, hey, Robert Gawal, you got to check this guy out, man. I mean, yeah, he took it one step beyond. Now, you think they might want to star in their own movie?
Right.
Love that strategy. Everyone, Google Film House Virtual Tours out of Nashville. And you could call them, or you could just take the idea. But anyway, it's a great, great idea. Here's another good one. Number 19. How about a neighborhood Facebook site? You know, a lot of people were doing. A lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people were doing neighborhood blogs. And blogging, you know, neighborhood blogs, you know, not that you can't do it. It's just too time-consuming. How easy is Facebook to use? You don't have to be a blog master to use Facebook. So find a neighborhood, either your neighborhood or a really cool neighborhood in the vicinity that has lots of homes. Go snap off a bunch of pictures of the playground, of the entranceway, of the local stores, of some community stuff. It's just pictures. Go home and start a Facebook page. Let's say if you live in Landsbrook, you can call it My Landsbrook, you know, Facebook page. And you could put little banded signs out in your neighborhood that says, join the neighborhood Facebook page. As people are driving home, they see these little bandit signs sitting out, join the neighborhood Facebook. Now all these people are joining the neighborhood Facebook page. Would it be helpful if somebody had a lost dog, if they could send a message out to their neighbors, hey, my dog got out. If you've seen it, let me know, right? Very helpful. What if somebody was moving and they had a garage sale? Wouldn't it be cool to post that on the neighborhood Facebook site? But then also, you can control it because you're the administrator of it. You can control all the listings that go on and all the real estate stuff, right? What about Halloween? Yeah. What about on Halloween? You can put the pictures of your kids on there. We're going to have a contest to see which kids got the best costume. Christmas time, who has the best Christmas lights? So again, more of a ways to interact with your local community without doing some crazy expensive neighborhood blog. Just go to your neighborhood and be the one that creates the neighborhood Facebook site for your neighborhood and be the administrator of it. Another strategy you could do would be getting REO listings, a little bit more complicated, but we do have some strategies where you can apply to different banks and offer to start doing free BPOs and eventually earn your way up the ranks that way, where you can start getting listings from asset managers. Another cool strategy, number 21, is to go into your local MLS. Check this out. Everyone can do this today. Go into your local MLS and find an area that you work in. Pull all the sales in the last year, and then pull all the cash sales in the last year. Cash is making up about 40% of our offers right now. So if I pulled, we're having about 1,500 sales a month. So let's say if I just honed it down to my particular area, let's say in my area there are 500 sales a month. What's that times 12? 6,000? So there's 6,000 sales in my general area in a year, the area that I work, 6,000. Now how many of those are cash? Let's say you take 40%. That's 2,400. Let's just say it was 2,000 cash sales in my area, 2,000. Now I start looking through the names to see if anybody bought more than one. What if somebody bought 3? Yeah. What if somebody bought 5?
Yeah.
That's the guy you need to start reaching out to.
Don't go there. Don't friend him on Facebook. Don't communicate with him. Don't build a relationship with that guy. That's not
stay away from that guy. Whatever you do, stay away from the guy buying 5 houses in your area. You don't want it. But everyone could do this today. And what does it cost? Nothing. It's just research in your MLS. Every MLS has what type of transaction it was. You click cash. You put your area. You go back a year. Then you just look for people that bought more than one. You look at the owner's names. It's simple, but it's a great strategy. Now, you want one that can make you money right now, Scott? I'm going to give you number 22. This is really the bomb.
Bring it, baby. Bring it.
I created this one. So it's called the menu for service. And here's where I got the idea. My background before real estate, I owned a third of a sports bar. And it was in Clearwater. It was called Bourbon Street. And, we used to serve food. And the perfect client was somebody that came in and maybe brought their family and they ordered food, dessert, and all that stuff, right? Well, what if somebody walked into your restaurant, Scott, and they sat down and they just said, could I get an appetizer and a drink? Would we throw them out?
No. No. Heck no.
But that's not really what you want. You're looking for the family. You're looking for everyone to order dinner. Why would you not throw these? Right. So the point is when I got into real estate, they were only serving one thing, and that was 6% or 7%. And there's some people, when you go out and meet with them, they're just not going to list with the realtor. That's just the way it is. They have realtors in their family. This one lady I met with, her dad and her brother were realtors in a different state. So she goes, I'm not going with a realtor. My dad and my brother, I have a family of realtors. So no thank you. But her house was $290,000, so I've got a choice. I can say thank you very much, leave my card, and walk out the door and get nothing, or I can gain some income and some market share. So here's what I decided to do. I put together this menu for service, right? Just look at the last column, or the second to last column. It says the best deal. We can put you in the MLS for $99 for 6 months. Then if you look down to the second to last column, not the one in the yellow, the second last white one, we take 3% and we put it in the MLS. 2.5% goes to the buyer's agent, and we take a 0.5%. So on this, here's how it kind of worked out. She said, I'll go in the MLS, I'll pay you 90. I want to rent a lockbox for 150, and the commission, we got a contract on it yesterday, here's what our commission's going to be, right, because it's just a 0.5%. But it wouldn't have got anything anyways. Here's what it equates to, $1,899 from a lady who told me her dad and her brother are realtors. I said, well, that's okay, but they don't live in the state, right? And they don't live in the state, right? She says, no, they don't. I said, well, then why don't we just get you in the MLS? Why don't we just get you? I just want to help you. I want to make friends, right? Do you watch Shark Tank, Scott?
Dude, I love the show. In fact, if I miss it, I'll go back and watch it. I love that show. Yeah.
I tape it, and my favorite is Mr. Wonderful. What I like about Mr. Wonderful is he always talks about customer acquisition costs.
You're dead to me.
Right, you're dead to me. Love that guy. So he always talks about is customer acquisition cost. Now, when I do this, some people might say, well, I don't like this strategy. You're selling out. No, I walked into somebody's house, and they weren't going to list with a realtor anyway. I made $1,900, and I acquired a customer for life.
Absolutely.
Because I helped somebody, and I'm going to get into their friends, and I'm going to get into their family or whoever else is around. Okay, now here's some of the benefits of the menu. It always gives you a chance, right? I mean, even when someone's brother and dad's a realtor, you still have a chance when you do menus. You can get signs up in a hurry. It can be now money because we ask for this payment up front. It's a great way to build relationships, to gain market share. How about if you get 10 signs up quickly? You just say, you know what, I'm new to the business. I'm going to go out and do 10 menus. You got 10 signs up. What happens then? The phone rings. All of a sudden you're getting buyer calls. You start to get other listings in the neighborhood. You start to build your stats up. So anyways, here's what I want you to do. We're getting towards the end. I want you to get out a blank piece of paper, and I'm going to bring the first 10 back up. I want you to look at them. And I want you to write on one side of the paper 2013, and on the other side of the paper write 2014. If you did any of these strategies consistently in 2013, I want you to write them down. If you have not done, and if we set off a trigger in you today, and you said, man, I worked for Sell by Owners for like a month, and then I laid off. I really need to get back to that. Or I like the postcard idea, or I need to do more email marketing. I'm going to get Realty Juggler. And what I want you to do is take a look, and I'll bring up the last 11, is write down at least 3 strategies from today, and I'll go back. I want you to write down 3 strategies from today that you can do better at, or just do it all. Either you're not doing them, or if you are doing them, you can do better at. Okay, whether that's door knock, FSBOs, expires, list pendens, and so on, or any of these strategies, whether you're going to start doing videos, the menus, that was worth this whole webinar.
I love the menus. Yeah, I love the menus. Yeah.
Yeah, so what you want to do is you want to implement 3 new strategies and run them for 3 to 6 months. Okay? And final thoughts, I think I've got like 2 slides. Go ahead, Scott.
Cool, man. No, go ahead. So I think one of the things is like one of the big things for me is accountability. And I know that, dude, you have so many strategies. I mean, we just touched on the service, and I'm so glad to have you as part of this family. If somebody wanted to reach out to you, I mean, I know you do some one-on-one stuff, you do some one-on-one calls, you do strategy sessions. Is that something that's open for this group? I mean, I hate to do this to you, but there's a lot of people on the call, so I don't want to. I don't know if you want to do that or not, but I thought I would throw it out there that, if anybody wanted to one-on-one call, well, I don't know what you do as far as. I know you help hundreds of people, but so I just thought I'd throw that out there if you wanted to, a shameless plug.
Well, let me show you this one last slide, and then we'll finish off with the shameless plug. Here's my final thought. If you look at the slide, in my opinion, the fish are swimming this way, right? I mean, the market's recovering, the fish are swimming this way. The problem that I see with most realtors is they're excited, and they get out there with their fishing pole, and their idea is, I want to catch a fish. And if you work with us and people like Scotty or myself, I don't want to catch a fish. I want to build a net. I want to catch a lot of fish. This isn't about catching one. This is about building a business. And this is kind of the difference between the mindset of a realtor and the mindset of a coach I really have no desire to help anybody on this call sell a house. I have a huge desire to help you build a business, and that's the difference. So with that said, here is the shameless plug. If anybody on this call says, you know what, I want to see what this guy's about, I'd like more information on this menu or more information on these FSBO scripts, or just I want to just talk to this guy and see what he's doing to get 10 signs up in the last 40 days. It's an absolute fact. Here's my information, okay? Robert Gawal, performance coach and chief strategist with the Real Estate Academy. There's my 1-800 number. If you're going to call the 1-800 number, just leave a message in the general mailbox. You can look us up on the web at realestateacademy.com. And if you want to shoot me an email because you're curious about the menu, the FSBO scripts, I mean, we're all here to help each other. I appreciate Scott and Carl giving me this opportunity. Email me at info@realestateacademy.com. So with that said, Scott, I'm done, but I'll take any questions. I'll hang out. Do we have any questions or anything like that? Hello?
Hey, Robert, I don't know if there's room on that slide right there to add the Facebook group, the private Facebook group where you're also a part of, which I appreciate your interaction there with helping people. But we're at facebook.com/groups/Agent Mastermind. So just go into your browser and search Agent Mastermind, and I'm sure you'll find it. But it's a private group. We only let real estate agents in. So feel free to join us. We're almost at 7,000 people, and I'm just excited about that. We started this thing, and there's just some serious interaction and involvement there. So some of the great questions, one of them is the cash. How do you so can you just review what to do when identifying cash investors? I love that strategy as well.
Well, I mean, I think the thing you don't want to do is you don't want to try to sell anybody anything. This is about rapport, like, and trust. Amen. So whether you're approaching a for sale by owner, a cash investor, or whomever, the idea is to earn, and we've got letters for that, where they're just pre-formed letters that you can send out and just kind of drip on them a little bit. But again, I guess the quickest thing that I could say is don't try to sell anybody anything. Here's one thing, because what happens when we try to sell, it puts anxiety in us. Absolutely. If I know I've got to sell somebody something, let's say, Scott, you're a big cash investor, and I know who you are, and I know you bought 5 homes. If I got to approach you, that's like approaching a hot girl at a bar if you're single. It's intimidating, right? But if I take the pressure off and say, I don't want anything other than to make a friend, I don't want anything. Can we all make friends? That's not intimidating. So the whole point is find a way to make a friend. And the friend comes first. The business comes second.
Here's a really good thing that I learned this morning, as a matter of fact. So say you want to build a relationship. Robbie, you're going to love this. So say you want, I got this from, I can't steal it from him. I got it from Gary Vaynerchuk. I love the guy. So he says, somebody asked him, they said, how do you start? If you want to start fresh, how do you start fresh, like with a new business? Well, you want to find out who you're selling to. So in this case would be local real estate investors. If you know their name, you know who they are, you know who your clients are. This is the same way for past clients, current clients. Go on to social media, friend them, go to LinkedIn, friend them, connect with them. Go to if you're on Twitter, do the same thing, and listen for them to talk. Wait for them to talk, and then interact with what they say, because what do people say on social media? They say what they're doing, where they're going, where they've been, what they love, what they don't like, if they have pets, if they have kids, if they have grandkids, on and on and on and on. You can literally know more about the person before you even talk to them and start interacting with him or her before you even physically speak with them or meet with them. It's crazy how we have the power of social media to do that. So I just wanted to throw that out.
Scott, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So how many friends do you have on Facebook?
32, 3,300, 3,400, something like that.
Yeah, I'm about 3,400, I think, but I think you just hit it right there. When you've got that many friends, and you don't even need that many friends, but the point is, when you post something, Scott, let's say you did something cool with your family. Yeah. I'm sure out of those 3,400 people you're friends with, you don't know all of them.
Nope.
So you put this cool post on, you and your family are on vacation, you're skiing, look at us, and I'm sure you get comments from people you don't even know, but they really enjoyed your post. That makes you feel good, doesn't it?
It does make me feel good. Yeah, a little shot of dopamine.
Right. So the point is that I love that strategy, Scott. Just hook up with these people on Facebook, listen to their, and just make comments, positive comments, and next thing you know, you're connecting and you're conversing with people that you don't know, but sooner or later you're not going to be a stranger anymore. They're going to know your face, they're going to see your face, and so on. Yeah.
No question. So we got a, and Stacy, is this your real last name? I mean, is that really your last name, Stacy? Can you tell me that that is really your last name? Because that's pretty cool. So Stacy typed in her last name is Beer, B-E-E-R. Stacy Beer says, hey, this group has changed everything I do about my business. Thank you. You rock. Always love the Facebook group. Also love the Facebook group. So Stacy, awesome. Appreciate the compliments and the accolades there. And, of course, that always makes us feel good. And if
well,
guys,
Scotty,
yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say you do the best job creating groups. If anybody needs any questions about growing a group, you are the absolute ninja master, Scotty.
That's cool, man. I appreciate that. So, hey guys, I appreciate you guys. If could we give Robbie a little love here? If you guys are on our private Facebook group, just go show a little appreciation for Robbie. And if you need anything from him, just let us know on the private Facebook group. I know we're over time, and I like to respect your time for that. And let me just see if there's any more questions. Guys, everybody's asking for the scripts that you use for FSBOs and expired listings that got you the 10 appointments out of the 13.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm getting killed for. So maybe we'll post them on the shoot. I don't know if it was me giving them a call, but can we post them on the private Facebook group? Would that be cool?
I will email them to you, Scott, and then you feel free to share them.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll put them underneath the recording along with the PowerPoint that Robbie used today. So if you contact the loan professional that sent you to this recording or sent you to this class today, get with the loan professional, ask them for the recording, the PowerPoint, and the scripts that go along with it, and we will put those along with the recording, which we should have up by tomorrow. So, brother, I appreciate you, man. So next week, I know you you started all this, and it's a friend of yours, Stacy Staub, is going to be on. So you're going to be interviewing her and what she's doing. She's knocking it out of the park with social media. She has been a good friend of mine, and you guys have connected, and I appreciate you setting this up for us. So, guys, don't miss next week. If you mark your calendars, 12 o'clock, same time, same place. Stacy Staub going to show us how she's using a bunch of stuff. I said, do you want me to send you the PowerPoint? She goes, no, I've got a bunch of new stuff, and I'm going to show it all. So I appreciate her and Robbie for setting that up for us. So appreciate you guys. Robbie, man. Amazing stuff. The menu for me, the takeaway today was the menu. That's crazy good. That is crazy good.
Well, you know what? If people just want an appetizer and a drink, that's what you give them. Don't force yourself on people. Acquire customers, right? And it's that simple.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hey, man, that's it. So I appreciate you guys. If you have any questions, just and we didn't cover them, ask them on the private Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/Agent Mastermind. And I sincerely appreciate and enjoy being a part of your life and your success, and look forward to many, many more weeks and years to come. So, Robbie, I appreciate it like always, and everything you do, you bring to this family here, and look forward to having you on class more often.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank Carl, Scotty, for just giving me this platform, and I love coaching and speaking. So just thanks again, and I look forward to next week.
All right, buddy. Take care. Have a good week, everybody. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.